Anxiety, anxiousness feels, I want to say, not so great, terrible at times, and very uncomfortable. But here's the paradox that I'm going to go back to that I initially said.
Yes, we like solutions.
We accept anxiety in order to disengage from anxiety. So fighting it, resisting it, it's going to persist. So what I'm trying to say is, to feel empowered in an anxious situation, you face it straight on.
Creativity is in business. We are in business indeed. So much you need to rethink, have a positive mindset, and be empathetic. I'm super excited. Today I have a special guest, Jeanie, who is currently in
Raleigh, North Carolina.
One thing that's been really bugging me is, Jeanie, like, I can't control what news or information I see online or like what's happening, but I don't know. I'm genuinely curious. Like, is it a bad thing if I let my mind kind of wander into the worst case scenarios? Like,
no, it is not wrong to go down the rabbit hole, and actually probably very normal. However, it is not healthy to go down the rabbit hole, okay? Because what you're saying is the what ifs. I love saying with anxiety, we cannot live in the what ifs. We do, and our mind just goes, I want to say, in some crazy thought patterns, right? And I'm guilty of it as well. And I want to say we have to practice to not go down the rabbit hole by practicing what is. So adapting the words of what is. So the what is basically the present moment and what you can control. The what ifs is where we cannot control. That's what I'm saying. When you go down the rabbit hole, it's because you can't control the thoughts of, okay, so this can happen, and then what if happens to this happens and this will happen. You know what happens, right? That's right. What is? And I will say, here's the thing in managing anxiety. It is not ever about making anxiety go away. Okay?
Wait,
with anxiety.
Yeah. My anxiety go away. With anxiety, why?
Right. I say this all the time. I would be a multi-millionaire if I had the one-liner or a special drink to say this will make your anxiety go away. It's just impossible because it is a part of our life experience. It's actually very normal to experience anxiety, especially in a time like now. I will say there's a paradox. So this is the paradox that a lot of clients and patients are like, I don't like hearing this paradox, because what they want to hear from me is, this is what you do, and steps, if you follow these steps, you'll be fine. I wish I could say that. But again, I'm telling you, when I said, yes, it's okay to go down the rabbit hole, because what I'm saying is, it makes sense, Monica. We're stressed out. You're anxious about things that you've never experienced before. And it happens to be a very stressful time for our entire nation and world. Period. That is the what is. We have to stop there. And just so you know, we can control a lot. People think they can't. When you're anxious, you feel like you cannot. But I always say those reactions, your feelings, your emotions, your, oh my gosh, and the whole fear factor, hello, those are emotions, but I would call them symptoms of our anxiety. So if I had to best explain it, when we have a cold, what are our symptoms? Okay, runny nose, headache, tired. Let's just talk about a cold, the common cold here. Those are symptoms. So we know what it is. Okay. The best thing to do when feeling anxious or experiencing anxiety is also the hardest thing to do. What is that?
Accepting it?
That is, but I would say in one word, nothing. Allow it to happen. So that's why it's hard to do. And I hear people going, what? I have to go through coping mechanisms and breathing exercises and meditation. Those are excellent things to do. That is to help us manage it, go through it, distract ourselves, and then I'll talk about techniques shortly. But techniques, I will say flat out, are no good. They're actually not helpful at all. if you yourself do not understand your relationship to anxiety. The whole point is to empower you. Right now, you're in front of me, Monica, or all you guys, with your relationship to anxiety, and not let it control you. You can be in control.
So I can bring my anxiety as like a little side friend of like, hey, anxiety there. Yeah, no, today you can chat for a little bit, but I'm working on this thing right now. Can you chat a little later?
You know what? I love that. That's a great scenario. So it's like, yes, face it, look at it, and know what it looks like.
We wrap up. Like, I know you have a powerful tool, sets. I really love that. Could you share a little bit more?
Sure. And I wish I could say I came up with it. It's a dialectical behavioral tool. It's an acronym, easy to remember, to help you manage your stress, to help you engage in it, and know, hey, I'm very anxious right now. Here's what I'm going to do. Accepts. A stands for activities. So when you're super stressed out and maybe at work and you find yourself frustrated, go do something else that you really like. Probably it's exercising. For some, it's, you know, binging a Netflix show, whatever it is.
More painting over here.
Yeah, or paint. Then we have the first C, which is contributions. That's actually my favorite one. Contribute, that means self-care. Maybe do something for yourself. Contribute something to your family members, your kids, or this is my favorite, the community. Maybe it means going and dropping off some food on someone's deck. I know you're supposed to maintain a distance, right? The second C is choices. You choose to understand your anxiety. You're choosing to address it. You're choosing to accept it. Or in some cases, you're choosing to do something that'll help you get through it, right? Whatever that is. And then E, emotions. So obviously I'm going to be talking about positive emotions. What makes you happy? What makes you feel good? Do them. Who makes you feel good? Talk to him, her, right? Virtually. And then P, push away. This is actually my favorite one. Why? Because I tend to not push things away. I want to do it all. I feel like I have to do it all. And maybe that's what you guys are feeling because you're working from home, so you have to do all this. There is a time and place where you might need to push things away, not respond to an email, not take a phone call, literally take a nap. I know I had like take a nap, push things away so you're in better, I want to say in better control to manage it when it comes, right? Like tasks. T, thoughts. Obviously shift your thinking to positive thinking. So the minute you, not even positive, realistic too. The minute you go down the rabbit hole, go, what did I say? What is? The what is I'm healthy right now. I feel okay. Yep. That's the what is. And maybe thinking about when this is all done, I'm going to finally take that cruise vacation that I can take. Makes you happy.
Yeah.
And then finally, I know. So I know
pictures of that trip.
Right. And then S, sensations. This is where you actually want to ground yourself with you physically. And you know, when you're stressed, things tense up. When you're at your computer, right, your shoulders ache, you have a headache, which means, oh, I need to drink some water. Right, she's doing my favorite thing. Yeah, at the desk, you kind of turn around like this. Don't underestimate that. Giving your body attention and realizing, oh my gosh, my back is completely stiff. I've been sitting here for like 3 hours. I need to get up. Right then and there, you're in control of some anxiousness that affected your body. So that's the accepts, and that's very practical. But again, it's to tolerate distress. It is not to take away your anxiety. That I have to make clear, and I could talk forever about how it's not about taking away your anxiety.
And I love that because it's so humanizing. I think one thing that, as I'm reflecting upon all my friends, different networks that I've been part of, and, you know, when we first were planning on coming and doing this together, even just one of the things we just commented before we went live was, you know, Jeanie, like just in the past week since we last first talked about this, so much has changed.
Yeah.
And I really that's why we talked about, we need to shift the language a little bit more so that we can go a little bit deeper. And so I'm really glad we're talking about it. And one of the things I wrote down that I hope all of you are listening and writing down too is, you know, how word choices matter. I think, you know, in addition to the defining, it's not just about defining, you take a step even deeper. How are you defining with the word choices? And I love that respond and react is different. Well, Jeanie, thank you so much. This was so invaluable and so timely. And I think I love the fact that, you know, let's take a moment to do nothing for a bit. accept, and why that's important both psychologically as well as for our heart and how we make decisions, and as well as how we look at stress. And so I already feel a lot lighter than I was 30 minutes ago.
Well, I
hope
had
you
fun
all feel
talking
that
to
way
you.
too. You know, best thing is, you know, you can rewatch this too and get an extra tip. You know, I want to add one more quote for hopefully perspective, which is Plato, be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. And we know that we think everyone is going through the same battle, but we actually don't. And so I know I've taken tons of notes while we're on the show, and I hope this has all helped you. So Jeanie, thank you so much again for taking the time to do this and sharing our wisdom. Thank you all for joining live. But as we wrap up, I know you had something that you want to share at the end.
Yes, I did. Well, thank you for the reminder. Okay, so I just dropped it. Okay, so I just want to share a brief 3 lines from the prayer of serenity. And it just came up when I was talking to Monica, and I believe in going with the flow and being authentic. God, I'm going to read it to you. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. That's the first 4 lines of that prayer, and that pretty much sums up what I talked about today with managing anxiety and understanding.